Okay, guys. Hey, episode 12, Friendship Fox. You know, like I told you in the last video, I was going to start working on these doors this week. It's Sunday morning, and I get up early, I get bored, I get out here, and I enjoy the hell out of this. There's the door frame right side. You can see there's a nice bend out there for the big wide dudes. So you got to fit all this metal to go on here. Now, what I've done this morning, I've taken a sheet, which was a solid sheet. I went ahead and Clegoed everything on there. Excuse me, set my holes. And like I mentioned in the last video, I was going to put a window in here down here so I could see my landing gear, both sides. So what I did, I know this is, there we go, that's a little bit better. What I did to get this cut out exactly what I wanted was I just went ahead and I drew a line out. And then I put my trusty straight edge up there, and one edge at a time, 1 point, I wasted on each cut, okay? And I scored it 6, 7, 8 times, and I could feel it softening up. And then after I scored it, here's the center right here. This was in here like so. I went ahead and I took my 4-inch grinder. I cut into the edges, or the interior here, and it went right out to the edge without barely touching it. Same thing up here, same thing here, same thing down here. You really can't see it now because it's been cut. But anyways, I cut inbound on each corner. And then after I did that, all I had to do was simply, here we go, however that went. Okay, let's just say it like that. And all I had to do is just bend it over slowly, bend it over, and it just snapped right off. And I got this beautiful straight cut all the way around. Okay, once I had that done, it was really simple stuff to go ahead and get me a piece of that polycarbonate out, which I had a chunk of in the thickness I wanted and everything. And I cut it to fit. So what we got here now is we're going to have that big, beautiful window in that door, just the way I want it. Let's get that up there like that, just the way I wanted it, see? And now I can rivet, yeah, something like that, right? I can rivet that in. I'm going to put a little bit of a little edge on here. They make stuff for that, just a little edge to make it look all beautiful and everything. And then I'll go ahead and I'll rivet all that on there the way I want it. But I'll get everything cut, drilled out and everything today, and just put it together with Clecos until I'm ready to get that trim piece and get everything ready to go. And then it's going to be really, once these are done and they're fitted, as far as the door goes, they fit perfectly. But it was all about putting this metal on, getting it the shape right and all that, and making sure you don't have strange ripples and everything in it. And I got that right on. Then once I got that on, I went ahead and measured out, and they're recommending 1/2 inch. And it's actually a little bit more than that as far as away from your rivets, because this is the center line of your tube, pretty much, okay? Close, not perfect, but close. And I did it by eye. I went up there and I eyed it out. I got the center of the tube, and then I came out to where it looked right on the airplane. Okay, the instructions are great, but I want it to look right. And after being working construction for a long time and in aviation and everything else, you know, things are not perfect. And sometimes you have to adjust your eyes a little bit to make it look right, even though it might not be right on the money. And that's okay, man. This is, some things need to be perfect, but things like a door frame like this and putting this metal on, I'd rather have it look right and fit right and seal up the door, other than following the instructions exactly. So I've done enough of this stuff that, you know, it's not that big a deal. Now, it's been a while since I had cut a lot of this stuff, to be quite honest with you. This here, I told you how I did this, but this is kind of interesting on this, guys. I was going to do the same thing to this. This is not very thick. I don't even know if that's I don't know. Maybe that might be a little over 16. Anyways, I was going to do the same thing. I was just going to score it, and I was going to cut it off. But, you know, I said, let me try a little test piece just to see if this works. Look at this. I got out my trusty shears. And by God, I cut that stuff, and it cuts perfectly. It doesn't shatter the edge. It doesn't make little stress cracks, nothing. I mean, it cuts perfectly. So if you get into wondering how that's done, just experiment a little bit with yourself. These are good sharp shears. You want good sharp ones, okay? And a good set, not a bunch of cheap junk. In fact, these are my brother's old shears from probably 40 years ago. This is an old set, man. Look at that. It's snap-on. I can't believe it. Look at that. It's a snap-on tool. That's got to be at least 40 years old. He had that back when he was working metal in the mines, when he worked in Wyoming, okay? And I got a few of his tools. I'm going to send that to him. He'll get a kick out of that. But that's my brother's initials right there. Anyways, I cut it, and it works, okay? So there you go. Now I'm going to go ahead and fit all this together, get it cleat-coated, put it back on, set it on. I'll take a few pictures of it for the next video. But this door is getting real close. I've got to cut the upper window and fit it as well. But I'll have all that done today if I keep going at it. And then it's just a matter of trimming some things out, putting the edging on there that I want around the metal to make everything look right and stuff. And, you know, that might come on after I get it painted. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that yet. Or maybe I'll paint the whole damn thing when, you know, tape it off and paint it. But until then, I'm only going to pull back the edges of this paper, of course, so we can keep protecting this front and back. Just where I'm going to throw rivet holes in. And it's hard to get the paper out of there once you suck this all up. Okay, so you want to pull this paper back a little bit and then keep your protective cover on there, of course. I mean, you guys know all this stuff. I'm just kind of talking into the wind here, but that's okay. So that's about it, man. We're about 7 minutes in. I just thought I'd give you a quick update. Had nothing better to do. I hope you're enjoying what we're doing here, what I'm doing. And any comments? Man, throw some comments out there if you like. I appreciate them. Just be constructive. If they're bad, please. I try to be constructive with folks. Okay, well, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.